Unconventional times call for unconventional videos. So here I am in a park, a very public park, where there's a tree behind me, but there are so many people in front of me. Not many of them have glanced at this yet. So hey, apparently not everybody cares about your business. But do you know who specifically cares about your business? Me. And I'm all up in it. And I know that you haven't been out of the house in a while. And I know that you think right now, oh, there's so many things missing in my life because of Corona. Yeah, one of them is probably the sunshine and, I don't know, air. So, this is my call to all of you to leave your damn houses. As you can see, very strategically placed in this shot, I have a bike. I haven't actually gone out on it ever since I got it. The thing is, I've had an idea to go out to the park like this, have some grapes, some water, and just chill for a long time, and I haven't. And why? Because I haven't had a Gabby who's been forcing me to get out of the house. This is why I'm your Gabby, and I'm gonna force you out of the house. More than half the people that I ask what they like to do in their free time, or what they'd like to be doing in 5 years, not even job specific, they say traveling, and I'm like, go somewhere. Get a rail card. Get those cheap tickets. Go. Go. If you want to go, there are so many options to go. And me and my magical notebook will tell you about those options today. I'm angry because it's so easy. Come on, get out of the house. Adventures, travel, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be chaotic. It can literally be get on a bike and go. Don't have a bike? Walk. Statistically speaking, you're probably young if you're watching these videos, and if you feel like you're old, well then, boom, you're young. I just told you that you are. Point is, use those young legs of yours and get out. For those who can't use those young legs of yours, that's fine. Get on a bus. Get on a bus. Get in the car. Force somebody to drive you somewhere. Transportation is endless. As mentioned, thrills don't need to cost. There are so many ways to get out of the house for either cheap or cheaper. Chances are, where you live, you probably haven't gone everywhere yet. As a random little story that I can offer you, when I lived in Poland, in the middle of nowhere, this is not the kind of cool little countryside where you could find like a little cafe and be like, whoa, independent cafe in the middle of nowhere, woo! No. None of that. None of that here. This is Poland as well. We can't afford independent cafes. Even there, in that place, I was inspired enough to take myself on a walk. I saw this church, and it was like on the top of a hill. So I thought, okay, church, atheist, hill, walking up. Sounds like a plan. And so I looked on Google Maps at home. I was like, okay, that's about maybe 6-kilometer walk there and back, and I was like, yeah, that's doable, I can totally manage that. For more context, I didn't have data on my phone and my location didn't work, so I just had to figure my way out on a screenshot of Google Maps to a place that I've never been before. I did end up getting up to that church on the hill. Oh, I can just tell you, the view from that baby was insane. I set up my phone and took some self-portraits because it was an accomplishment. I went out the house and I went and on my own and for no reason at all. So I took my phone, my self-portraits, and I went home and I showed everybody the view, and I just never really stopped talking about it. More so, I kept talking about it to such an extent that my mum decided to go for the same exact walk, except she didn't get lost halfway up, of course. And so explore the places where you live, because trust me, there is so much more to do. I live in Reading, for a little bit of stalker info. Basically, everybody who lives in Reading says that Reading's a boring place. Yeah, let's go with that one. Wherever you live, you're so used to that location that you just assume that it's boring. When in doubt, pack a little bag and just walk in one direction and just keep going. And just keep going. Just keep going. Or look at the map, select a point and walk there, because you never know what you could find. And even if you don't find anything remotely fun to do, like a little cafe or anything, then take some food with you. Make your own little cafe experience. Sit in a park, have a little picnic. Trust me, there is so much more to do in your little hometown than you think. And if you really, really, really feel like you've done everything in your little hometown, then take it to the next hometown over. Go to the next one. Maybe the next one around that. Just walk around. There's so much to do in your little radius, trust me. If you can afford to do something, then remember, you don't need to spend money on food. At all. Cheap trips like this, I'm talking just in your country and wherever you are currently, they're so easy to do. People complain way too much for actually having so many possibilities. Make a meal deal, pack your bag. For those interested, you can refill water in various locations. For example, Pret. There are plenty of options that will save you from actually spending money when you get somewhere, but instead help you spend money, for example, on the travel costs, because that's probably, in my opinion, the best thing to spend money on. The more money you spend on travel costs is usually equivalent to how far you go and also how comfortable that trip is. For example, trains cost more than buses because trains are apparently more comfortable, but mostly they're faster. So if you want to get somewhere fast, it's usually better to get a train. But it depends, everything depends in life. And this is where I'll repeat my point of get a rail card. Do it. If you're like me and you can't get a child's train ticket, get a rail card. And once you've got this rail card, you can do anything you goddamn like. It's great. It's a great life having a rail card. Get a rail card. If not, look where your buses take you. You might not have a bus immediately next to you right now, but there is a great chance that there is a bus somewhere that will take you somewhere else. See how expensive that bus is and get away from where you are. And it's just so easy. I'm currently planning a trip to Virginia Water because Virginia Water is not close by, it's not super duper far away, but it's also beautiful. Can we just talk about that? So don't complain about money, because all you need is travel costs, and travel costs can be 10 quid. You've got 10 quid. Stop shopping on Depop and go somewhere. You're lazy. You're still scared about spending money? Then fine. Find somebody who's got transportation. If it's a bike, if it's a car, if it's a bus that you can sit in for free, because I did that recently. There are so many ways to get out of the house and not have to pay for it. Buddy up with your friends, because chances are that they'll want to go somewhere too. And everybody always wants to go to the big places like Manchester or Bristol or this or that. Dunno, don't care. Why? There's so many places to go. Listen, if you want to travel somewhere big, then you can do that. In that case, again, stop shopping on Depop for just a few months, save your money, and do the exact same thing that I just told you, aka get a meal deal and some water and refill it.
It's not that hard.
I know that society dictates you to go to a restaurant and post a photo of you and your food in the restaurant, but why? Literally, when I went to Bristol, I went with my meal deal and some snacks that I took from home, and I was very happy. So I don't see the reason as to why you should give in to what society is telling you to do and spend 20 quid on some food in a restaurant that you have in your place anyway. Just get a meal deal. Spend money on travel costs, and have a great time in this location. You do not need to pay for things to have fun in a new place. Aw, somebody's flying a kite. See, this is the kind of stuff that I wouldn't be able to see from home if I stayed home. Crazy that. If you're still not convinced about leaving your house, then let me tell you just a few more things that will hopefully change your mind. I will mention this year because I feel like I have to. It has been insane, very hard, very crazy. Chances are you need a little break. I need a little break. Going out by yourself isn't depressing. God damn. That's such a weird societal norm that's been introduced. Going out by yourself is, for example, a good way to scout locations that you want to go with people. Going out by yourself is just a fine way to get to know yourself. We as people are so drawn to friendship and companionship that very frequently we forget to actually get to know ourselves. Midlife crisis strikes and we're like, oh, there's so many things that I didn't discover during my teenage years. Go out, have some fun by yourself, engage with nature, engage with a good book, engage with something that you've been willing to spend time on but haven't found the motivation to. Do the opposite of what you feel like doing when you're sitting in your bed, and go somewhere, do something. And if you're still not motivated, then I'll throw one more point in. Notebooking, scrapbooking, memory booking. If you wanted to do a scrapbook once in your life, do it. Go on your little adventures. Have some fun with it. There are so many opportunities. You don't have to just go outside in your Animal Crossing village. So just go for it. Leave your house, bro. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today, because it's windy, and I want to eat my grapes, and drink some water. Go outside. I'll be waiting.